better. Just
this is only the second meeting of 4 total during the season series. And I think, having lost that first one, this is important. You don't want to dig a hole against a certain team in the regular season because then you allow them to get kind of a mental edge over you.
Being down 2-0 to them is not the start they're looking for. I mean, that's obvious. So what you've got to do is be ready to study the game film and then make adjustments.
All right, let's set the floor. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. On the court for Charlotte, Henderson and MKG will fill out the wings. Seller and Johnson are the bigs. And it's Powell in at the 1 spot. An uptick in minutes last season for Andre Drummond. The Pistons had brought him along slowly, Clark, in his rookie season, much to the frustration of the Piston fans.
You know what? It was the Pistons training staff, though, Kevin, that pulled back the reins. They found he had some imbalances athletically that predisposed him to injury, so they wanted to be cautious with him, and it looks like it's paying off.
And the second free throw, good.
And for Drummond, you think about the stress on his joints, moving so quickly at his size. He needed to develop his core muscles to protect himself. And, the trainer's caution was validated in year 1 when he ended up missing a couple of months with a fractured vertebra in his back.
Here's Powell. His last outing, he had 18 points. 6 to shoot. Here's Henderson from the high post. Drills it.
Maybe they're still working out the kinks defensively because that was a blatant mistake.
And Drummond played starters minutes in year 2. You have to give him a lot of credit. That young man stayed patient. He worked diligently, putting in the time with the training staff to improve his body and his conditioning. And that hard work prepared that big athletic body of his to be able to handle that additional workload.
Smith on the wing. A 26-point game for him in the win against Houston.
He put a lot of pressure on his opponent defensively, too. He had 3 steals in that game.
Now here's Jennings. Josh Smith unable to get his shot to go. Jefferson with some nice D. Right side, Kid Gilchrist out to the right wing. Here's Powell. Rebound, Detroit. Coming into this having notched a win against the Rockets in their last game.
Yeah, and in the end, it wasn't even close. I mean, they had points coming from all over the floor.
Boy, they were locked in and ready to roll, and offensively, they just had a rhythm that was impressive.
Now, here is Monroe. After the miss from Powell. No one near Smith as he lets it go. And count it from 19 feet away. Smith's got his first points of the game. Hornets have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And Kid Gilchrist kicks to Jefferson. The jump hook, that's good. Pistons leading by 3. Jennings kicks to Drummond. Got a piece of it. Jennings drives in, and it's blocked by Powell. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in. Jennings against Henderson. Count the bucket.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Pistons have gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Drummond sets the screen for Jennings. Smith outside. Clock at 6. Offline with his 3. Here's the Hornets with the ball. They trail by 1. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
You know, when things started to go wrong for them in that game, and things did go very wrong, they just could never get it going back in the right direction.
Steve, there was just no consistency. I mean, that was really the problem to me. Anytime they strung together a couple of baskets, they just couldn't keep the momentum going.
Here's Jennings following the basket by Gerald Henderson. Kid Gilchrist against Jennings. Here's Powell and the rejection by Smith. And it's out of bounds to the Hornets as Charlotte retains possession. Here's Powell, averaging 13 points a contest. Well, the Bobcats then, now Hornets, might have been a little bit late to the analytics movement, but that's going on in the NBA all over the place, and they're full-time on it now.
Yeah, they're all over it. Last season, they had a half dozen of their staff devoted to analytics.
Now Jennings, after the missed three by Gerald Henderson. Fades. That's good. Here's Powell. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. Here's Zeller. Cannot hit. Good work defensively by Monroe. The Pistons leading. Jennings with the ball. He picked up 15 points in their last 20. Against Houston.
He was exquisite in that game, Kevin. It wasn't just the scoring, it was the passing, too. And his teammates, you could tell, were just really enjoying playing with him.
Kid Gilchrist with the steal. Powell inside. He's guarded by Jennings. Powell, that's good.
He got a little room at the rim and laid it in. Great play.
For Detroit, they've gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Outside Jennings. The pass to Drummond. The Hornets pull it in. Last time they met was in Charlotte.
And in that matchup, it was a very close game, but it boiled down to foul trouble. And I thought that was the key because a lot of those starters had to go to the bench.
Here's Powell. It's hauled in by Smith.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Jennings passes to Smith. And he overshot that one, missing. And to go back to the point Steve just made, how many times have we seen Clark close games come down to the foul situation?
Well, a lot of times, Kevin, you're exactly right. I mean, that's what that one came down to. If they didn't cause that foul trouble, I think it would have turned out differently.
Now Jennings. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist unable to get his shot to go. The pump fake kept the D off balance and gave him room. 6 points for Smith.
And a moment now to check out the numbers for Smith. Some good contributions since the All-Star break. He's averaging 15 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. And just look at those scoring totals. He's been doing what he does best, putting points on the board.
Yeah, how valuable a player he is for them, Steve. Scores are always valuable. He gives them such a reliable option every time they have the ball.
The shot by Powell, no good.
And very quickly here in the first quarter, pronounced advantage for them.
Trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well.
And that one's good.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
Hornets trail by 3. Now let's send it down to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Stan Van Gundy.
I asked him what their focal point would be defensively, and he said that Al Jefferson is at the top of their scouting report. With his smooth, low-post repertoire and mid-range shooting touch, he can put up points in a hurry. He said they'll try to steer him to his left hand as much as possible and just hope for the best. Kevin will see if they can force him into a tough night.
Thanks again, Doris. Now here is Smith after Henderson's miss. And that one's good. Now it's a 5-point Piston lead.
Nice pass there to set that bucket up.
Yeah, guys, and that's 10 of their last 12 points now coming off of assists.
And again, the Hornets missing.
Well, it looks like it's in his head right now. He looks tight. He's not producing, and his team's struggling as well.
Jennings with the ball. Now guarded by Powell. Jennings drives in, trying to get open is Monroe. Jennings dishes to Monroe. No one near Smith as he lets it go. Finds himself wide open and drills it. Smith's got 12 points in the game. And we've got an injury out on the floor. Very unfortunate as always, guys. Don't like to see this.
Yeah, Clark, that did not look good. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Pick it up out there. I could use some help.
Next, the situation's really out of your hands.
Both teams changing it up here. 19 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. And Walker kicks to Stevenson. Williams passes to Stevenson. Outside, Walker. And they get it. And he sinks the layup. Walker's got it all tied up now for the Hornets.
You know, the height difference there is huge, but he canceled it out with great body control in the air.
Exactly, Steve. He got to the hoop and wouldn't allow himself to be manhandled by the big boy.
Tie game in Detroit. And we'll be back right after this.
This Monday night, March 9th, John Wall and the Washington Wizards go up against Al Jefferson and the Charlotte Hornets. Be there.